Is it time to create something different with your life and your body? Right Body for You will inspire you and invite you to a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Ready? Let's go. Here's your host, Donnielle.
Welcome, everybody, to Right Body for You. As the lovely male voice said before, I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for joining me today, in the past or in the future. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen up and check it out and really to ask questions. You know, that's what this show is all about. It's called Right Body for You, and it really invites you to asking questions about everything, about your body, about your life, about your money, about your relationships, everything. You know, I was actually made wrong as a child for asking questions. Not from my mom. Those of you who listen to my show know I have a fun relationship with my mother, but from the other things, the church I was raised in, my father, family, friends, or whatever. Because, you know, as most humanoids that we are, we have a tendency to be curious, to wonder, to go, hey, what's over that hill, right? And so, you know, I would do this as a natural thing of like, hey, what does that mean? And what does that mean? And like, oh, what does that mean? And what does that mean? Oh, well, what about that? You know, it's a joke about kids being, you know, constant stream of questions, and I was no different. And I was told, stop asking questions, stop asking questions. You're just trying to create trouble. Because the questions I was asking, some of the questions I asked was, I didn't realize it. I was inquiring. But what it appeared to the adults was a challenge to their religion. And I was just like, curious, how far can we go with this conversation? This might be fun. And they're like, you're just trying to cause trouble. So for me, learning to ask questions was something I actually had to really work at when I first started with Access Consciousness and Right Body for You. You know, I remember the very first Access Consciousness class I had, and Dr. Dane here, you know, our dear friend Dr. Dane here, co-creator of Access, was my facilitator, he's my teacher. And there's 30 of us in the room, and he's like, okay, so would you guys be willing to, you know, ask questions and blah, blah, blah. And I said no. Yeah, I just shook my head. And he, you know, being aware of energy himself, the amazing awareness that he has, he was looking right at me. And I said no, and he laughed. He goes, okay, shall we try this again? So asking questions for me was really something I had to work at and really allow myself to start doing. And the kind of questions I'm talking about is not the kind of questions, I mean, any question is great, but it's also the questions that open doors to possibilities. Like the ones with religion. I was just trying to understand the depth of it. It's like, okay, well, let me know more. And it was like, no, you must go on faith. You're just trying to cause trouble. I'm like, I am? And so I had equated questions with trouble. And so I love that part of this show is just to get you to ask questions again so that you can see different possibilities, so you can actually create the life and the body that you so desire. And questions is something we go in a lot in the workshops that I'm doing. So let me we'll get into the topic as well, but let me first remind you guys, starting Friday, so starting in 2 days, I'm doing a set series of body classes in Edmonton, Canada, that I tell you what, we're going to have so much freaking fun with. It's the Right Body for You workshop, like we're doing this, facelift class, Access Consciousness 3D body class. We're having a party. We had a planning meeting this morning, and we laughed for the first half hour before we actually did any work. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. All right, so just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that. So it starts the 19th. The workshop, the 2.5-day Right Body for You workshop, is being live streamed. So if you can't bring your body to Canada, you can join us still that way, and it'll be fantastic. All right. Oh, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com. You can find out more. All right. Let's see, somebody in the chat room said, I confess not having used the question mark on my keyboard for years before I came to Access. That is how much I was out of being in the question. Exactly. You know, we were told not to ask questions. And then we wonder why we couldn't actually start creating a life, finances, relationship, body that we actually desire, because without question, we're not willing to see past what we've decided and judged it should look like, or we've been told that it should look like. You know, that's the big thing. I told you it should look like this. Okay, but what if it can look like this? Stop causing trouble. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm just seeing if we can go through the second door instead of the first door. No, we're told to go through the first door. Second door is sudden death. I don't know. Anyways, she said, was my life, emphasis on was. Amen, sister. Thought I'd get a little religion in there since we were talking about religion anyway. But speaking of, or in my head, trust me, there's a segue between religion and what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is, does my body want to be seen? Does my body want to be seen? You know, and I get it. I do. Oh, I get it. We often desire to hide because of what our bodies look like. I've done the same. You know, I've actually had times where I didn't see a long-lost friend because I'm like, I'm fat, I don't want them to see me, I look horrible. Or, you know, even if I was fat when they knew me, it's like that I was still fat. It was so, you know, I've missed friends, I've missed appointments. And like, oh, I actually, one time when I was still in TV, Jerry O'Connell, who was in Stand By Me as a little chubby kid, which I thought was funny, and he's an actor, and he was promoting his movie Kangaroo Jack, and I was working at a TV station. I know, I love him too. I so wanted to like meet him, and they're like, okay, well, Donnielle, go run camera, and we're gonna go interview him. And I actually turned it down, you guys. Here's somebody I really wanted to learn, and wanted to meet. Wanted to learn. Well, that's a different topic, but I wanted to meet. And it would have been on a one-on-one thing. I would have been like putting his mic on and saying hi, so it would have been really up close and personal. There's no way I could have hidden. And so guess what? I didn't do it. I sent a friend of mine. I sent another photographer. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to go. Why don't you just go? I'm not going to go. And he's like, I thought you wanted to go. I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, all right, fine. So he went. But that's what was so funny is that I only reason I didn't go is because I was fat. Because I was what I had defined as fat. I didn't want him to see me as that. I mean, not that I was expecting, like, a big romance and running off together. No, it wasn't even that. It was just like, I don't want this really famous guy who, you know, and to look at me. I don't want him to see me. I can't hide. It's not like I can just put up a camera and hide between it. I'm going to be talking to him. I can't do it. Simply because of the way I looked. So when I say I get this. I've done it. So here's my question for you. You know, we were talking about questions earlier, right? My question is, does your body still desire to be seen no matter what it looks like? Okay? And what's interesting is how many of you actually got a yes from your body? Yeah. A lot of you did. Some of you got a no, and that's a whole different topic. Come talk to me in class this weekend. So really, what's stopping us? Why do we hide? What actually occurs when our body is seen? And could it be one of the best nutrients for our body and we aren't allowing it? Okay? It's interesting. Does your body desire to be seen no matter what it looks like? Would you guys be willing to have no barriers with that and just receive what your body is telling you? And yeah, people in the chat room are like, yes, hell yeah, you know, things like that. And absolutely. Your body does actually desire to be seen. Your body enjoys the energetic, what do you call it? Energetic brush, energetic caress. There's the word I'm looking for. The energetic caress of somebody looking at you. And then, let's talk about lust a little bit. Baby. When somebody is lusting after your body, hello. You know, it was so funny. I had an experience one time when I met someone, and I still had a few judgments of my body. Okay, I admit it. I still use the tools, guys, and so I had a few judgments still about my body, and he had none. It was so funny. He was more of like, hey, baby, yeah, you know. Like Gary Douglas, founder of Access Consciousness, says there's a seat for every butt. Well, Gary likes to say there's an ass for every face too, or something. Whatever. He's like, for whatever your body type is, somebody out there loves and adores it and lusts after it. And so this guy was one. He's like, oh, you know, he liked bigger women. And so he loved my body. He lusted after my body. And it was just, to put my barriers down and receive that was quite intoxicating. And what was funny is we spent 4 days together. Yes, we spent 4 days together, folks. However, you know, whatever images you want from that, you're welcome. And it was about the third day we had gone to dinner, and it was about the third day, and he looks at me and he goes, are you on a diet? And I went, no. Why? He goes, because you're not really eating. And, you know, we had spent many meals together since then. I went, oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm just giving my body what it was desiring. And basically it was desiring him and the energy he was being. And, yes, the sex, but also just the lust. That nourishment that my body was getting from him of being seen, of being received, and just lusted after. There is no other word than this in lust. Gary talks about this a lot. It's that lust, right? It was feeding my body in a way that food wasn't actually required. You know, I mean, I had a few bites here and there, obviously, because we were at meals, and I wasn't hungry. It was really interesting, and I'm like, oh, and he noticed. He's like, are you on a diet? And what was funny in his universe, he was like, don't go on a diet. I like your body as it is, which was another interesting energy to perceive. And I'm like, no, I'm eating you for 4 days, right? And so it was really interesting that I didn't even notice I wasn't eating food because I was so feeding myself from this, you know. So I think of that line in Bridget Jones' Diary where she's like, have replaced cigarettes with sex or food of sex or something like that. I'm like, yeah, that's what I did. That's, you know, it's one of those truths with a lie attached thing. And it's like, because I didn't do it intentionally, but just I was allowing the lust that he felt from my body to be received. And it was, my body felt great. You know, people started going, have you done something different? Are you losing weight? Did you get your hair done or whatever? And then everyone else figured out that it was because I was shagging this guy. Because when you're in a room full of aware people, they can smell the pheromones coming out across the air, okay? But here, you know, something I want to say is, if you notice, I said I allowed that lust. I, the infinite being, allowed my body to receive it, okay? So we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, okay? That, you know, that if in the description of the show, I'm like, well, what stops us? If our body wants to be seen, what stops us? Well, we do, okay? We, the infinite being. And so when we come back, we're going to explore this allowing to be seen and lusted and not allowing to be seen and lusted or even looked at. Not even lusted, just, you know, standing out from a crowd, okay? So we're going to tackle that when we come back. All right, this is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, or the voice inside your head today, so Donnielle. So thank you so much for joining us today. I know this has been an interesting topic, just with people giving me questions before, or in the chat room, or just the energy before. Because as we all know, I am energy's bitch. I do what it usually tells me to do. And so the energy, becoming aware of the energy about this topic before was huge, because I hear it a lot. You know, in the Right Body for You workshops, I get to do them all over the world, right? And no matter what race, color, creed, religion, age, you name it, a common theme is not wanting to be seen, or their body has to be a certain way before it can be seen, in acceptable image. Which is why I also spend a lot of time on body image and shifting and changing that. So today we're talking about, does your body desire to be seen? Okay? Because you guys got to get it. There's a difference between your body and you, the infinite being. Okay? You, the infinite being, is, you know, the one that likes to have judgment and points of view and feelings and things and emotions and things that you're like, we make significant. Don't get me wrong, it's also the infinite being that has possibilities, fun, joy, light, and everything. It's just, you know, we like to mix it up. We like to have so I'm going to, with my one happiness thought, I'm going to have 5 judgments. There we go. That works. Okay. Your body doesn't actually have a point of view, okay? I really do want to stress this comment. Your body does not have a point of view, okay? Which is why at the beginning of the show I said, hey, does your body desire to be seen no matter what it looks like? And most of you got, well, yes. If I was being honest, yes, it does. Cool. So what stops us from being seen? That's where we, the cute infinite being, come in, okay? We, the cute little infinite being that goes, well, no, society says that I have to be a size 2, 5'10", long blonde hair, long legs, and pouty lips, or, you know, whatever it is that, you know, this part of society that you're listening to. And so we as infinite being buy into this moment where we go, oh, well, I have to look like this to be seen. I have to look like this to stand in front of people and talk. I have to be, look, and it is really just, we keep thinking, look, I have to look like this to be seen. I have to look like this to get that better job. I have to look like this to be able to wear that outfit. I have to look like this to get that type of man or woman. I have to look like, it's like, look. So, look. Funny in my head, guys, okay? So, look at it this way. Is there good energy or bad energy? Or is there just energy? And what we, the infinite being, have judged it as, okay? I know this really brings up some of, they're like, where the freak are you going? A second ago you're talking about something else, right? This all works in, trust me. Walk down the lane with me, give me a moment. But really, is there good energy or bad energy? Or is it just what we've judged it as? Okay? Yeah. It's often just, not often, it's just energy. And then we define it as good energy or bad energy. You know, kind of like, because we talk about energy flows in Access and Right Body for You. And, you know, one of the things, like if you're in a fight with somebody, have you noticed that they push a lot of energy? Even if they're across the room, they feel like they're in your space, right? That's because they're pushing a lot of energy at you, okay? And so the way to dissipate that is to actually drop your barriers. I know people think, and we've been taught, put up a barrier, reflective mirror, reflect it back on them or whatever. How fun is that? And how quickly do you get exhausted? Okay. So what you want to do is drop your barriers and pull energy from them and through you, not to you, but through you, okay? Because energy doesn't stop. And so you don't want to be a destination source for energy because it doesn't actually stop. So you just want to pull it through you, okay? And whenever I talk about this in class, invariably somebody goes, but would you want all that negative energy? And I'm like, well, if I'm not defining it as negative energy, if it's just the energy, I usually look at it as like, thanks for the reflush of the, you know, refill and the fill up of energy. Appreciate it. I know you think it's anger, but for me, it's just energy. So thanks for that. Have a good day, you know? And then, you know, that helps them dissipate because they're satiated because they push so much energy that somewhere in their universe, they like, if I push this much energy, I've won or whatever, or I've won when they have no barriers. Cool, have no barriers. Then they think they won and they stop yelling and they go away, which oftentimes when you're fighting with somebody, you just want them to go away, right? So I know, other talk. And so, you know, you want to drop your barriers and have no point of view about the energy, okay? So I go into this because when we talk about being seen, one of the things we are not willing to receive about being seen is judgment, which is why we so go into all the time about I have to look a certain way to be seen. Well, what's interesting with that is we're just looking for a specific judgment then. Do you guys get that? If we're going, well, I have to be a size 2, 5'10" to be able to facilitate a class, we're looking for an acceptable judgment, but it's still judgment. It's still our point of view. It's still the what we've decided that it should look like, okay? I love to call it acceptable judgment. So when we're looking at if we look at it a certain way, if we're waiting for ourselves to look a certain way to be seen, we're basically asking for the acceptable judgment. Judge me this way, because I'm over here judging myself a different way, and I don't like that. So look at me and judge me this way. So what's interesting is I've played with this a lot. my body through Right Body for You and Access Consciousness has changed 1,000,000 times. You know, it's lost weight, it's gained weight, lost weight, it's gained weight, whatever it is. And I used to self-flagellate about it so much. And then I started playing with this, if I had no point of view about this energy, how does my body feel? Okay? If I had no point of view about this energy, how does my body feel? And so if I would go out and I would get judged as being heavy, cool, lower my barriers, receive the judgment, POD anywhere I'm aligning, agreeing, or resisting and reacting to whatever it is. And you know what? My body kind of went, oh, thanks for paying attention to me. Thanks for looking at me. Thanks. Have a good day. It was really interesting. I was able to turn what this reality thought would be a negative judgment into that caressive energy that our body actually enjoys. And the only thing that changed was my point of view about the energy they were pushing at me. Okay? The energy that they were pushing at me. If I had a point of view about the rightness or wrongness of it, or the alignment agreement going, I know I'm too fat, oh, I shouldn't be standing up here, or whatever it is, yeah, then that judgment didn't feel good. That energy wasn't it's like crippling. And then when if I got, I got rid of that point of view I had about them judging me, it was just that caressive energy. And then my body goes, ah. And I'm like, thanks for the fill up, or thanks for the feeling up, Like I always like to say, cop an energetic feel, right? Hey, thanks for the feel up. Best feel up I've had in a while. And and so it's been really fun to shift that, play with that, and really be the more I had no point of view about what other people were judging my body as, the more my body is able actually to shift and change. Okay? This is a big thing, guys. Listen, just for a second. Okay, maybe a minute. 60 seconds. Every time you align and agree with somebody's judgment about you, whether it's like, oh my gosh, you look amazing, or oh my gosh, you look like crap, whatever it is, if you're aligning, agreeing, resisting, and reacting, you are solidifying something in your universe and in your body. And we have this point of view that we have to get over everything that we solidified before we can actually make a change. So it's like, how many solidifications do you have in your universe and your body that you even recently, yesterday, created, that you have the point of view that you have to shift and change and get over before you can lose weight, before you can heal, before you can grow hair, before you can have sex, whatever it is. Wow, a lot, right? Holy crap. A lot of us have those point of views that we've solidified, and how many of them came from other people? Okay. So the more I had no point of view about their judgments, whether it's this guy lusting after my body of like, hey, baby, you look great. And like, oh, thanks. Cool. I wasn't solidifying that I had to look like that forever either to make him happy. Or, oh my gosh, you look like crap. Okay, cool, thanks. Same energy. And the less I aligned and agreed with their points of view, my points of view changed. What? I know. I had my point of view about my body became less solid. And then guess what? My body was able to actually change like I desired it to, or it desired to, because I had less solidification, less judgment of what it should look like to be able to blah, 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 fill in the blank. And so we changed, my body and I. We're having a great time. And what's fun is sometimes it doesn't even change physically, but energetically it does change. Because what was interesting, I was recently at a class in New York. It was with Dane's Symphony of Possibilities. I was running audio out there. And I had friends come up to me and go, what have you changed? You're wow. Wow. Did you lose weight? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm just different because I'm willing to receive this energy no matter what it is. Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. I know there are lots of questions in the chat room. I saw you guys been chatting, and some days are really good at reading and talking at the same time. Some days not so much. And that's one of those days, not so much. So I'm going to read it during the chat room. I know one of them is about how can you accept compliments without lightly agreeing with them, and what's the difference in lust and sexualness, I think it was, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'll read it up, and those two right there are some great questions, and we will talk about that when we come back, okay? So this is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle, and I am still reading the chat room. That'll get better. So thank you guys all for joining me today, in the past, or in the future. And I do hope to see some of you guys this weekend. This weekend is starting a series of body classes. We're calling it Body Celebration in Edmonton, Canada. For the first time in Access history, Access Consciousness, which is the Right Body for You tools, or comes from Access Consciousness. For the first time in Access Consciousness history, this series of classes is being done. You know, Access has been around for 27, 28 years, something like that. So this is the first time this is actually being done this way. What is it? Glad you asked. Thanks. This weekend is a 2.5-day Right Body for You workshop. Okay. I get to facilitate these all over the world. I've been facilitating them for like 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. Time blends. And it is so much fun. We really delve into communication with your body. Yes, lust, sexualness, money, earth, pain, eating, body image, word languaging, looking at the energy behind the words that you're using. And like, well, I say this and I get the opposite. Why? We talk a lot about that in this class. And just to let you guys know, if you can't make it to Canada by Friday, that one is being live streamed. So you can go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com, and you can do that class that way, okay? And then we're going to do the Access Consciousness Facelift. Love that class, so excited. And then we're going to do the Access Consciousness 3-day body class, which is 3 days of giving and receiving the multitude of hands-on body processes that Access has. So the first time has been the same facilitator doing these classes, really these classes in a row. And then by the same facilitator, me. So I'm really excited about that because Right Body for You really helps you into that receiving, like we're talking about today, the receiving of lust, the receiving of being seen, things like that. It really helps you up your receiving, up your communication with your body. And so then when you go to the nurturing of the hands-on body processes, you and your body have a better communication, a better communion, and a better receiving down. So it actually emphasizes and enhances the hands-on body processes that we'll be exploring in the 3-day body class. So come play. Like I said, the Right Body for You workshop is live streamed. The 3-day body class is not live streamed. It's hands-on body processes. So hands-on, meaning your hands on someone or someone's hands on you. Okay? So you need to bring your body to that class so that you can be touched. Because trust me, besides being seen, your body likes to be touched. I know you guys are going, wait a minute. Today we're talking about seen. Let me be seen before we talk about being touched, okay? Okay. We'll talk more about being seen. But anyway, so if you would like to go to those classes, you can go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com. Find out more about it, sign up, all of that fun stuff. So, yay. Okay. So, fun stuff to be had. Seen. And, what's interesting is with these classes is I worked through the seen thing. Honestly, it was one of the very first things in Access I targeted changing because I didn't want to be seen. I was in broadcast production, head of marketing and promotions for a TV station, and it was all about being seen, and I didn't want to be seen because I had these points of view, these judgments about my body. And so a lot of people ask me, it's like, okay, you lost a lot of weight when you first came into Access. How did you do that? And I was like, honestly, one of the first steps that I did was willing to be seen, okay? And what was interesting is then after I was willing to be seen, I lost some weight. Then I started getting lusted after, and that freaked my shit out. Sorry, it did. Which is now working through the lust thing was totally something. And I love Gary Douglas. The man has allowance. It's the saying is the patience of Job, right? That's the saying in this reality. But his allowance for this is amazing because he's been asking me and inviting me to this conversation and changing this lust thing for 8 years, 9 years, whatever. And it's really only been within the last 6 months that I got it, okay? You get it when you get it when you get it. So those of you, I know some of you in the chat room, like, I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that. Well, yeah, we all are, darling. So don't judge yourself. Don't make yourself wrong for it in any way. You get it when you get it, okay? So one of the questions is, what's the difference between sexualness and lust? Okay. Sexualness, as we define it in Access, as we define anything, sexualness is that healing, nurturing, generative, that thing you find out in nature, that energy, that oneness, that, yes, orgasmic, but we're not talking about like an orgasm with sex. We're talking that creation, that spark of life. It's creation energy. It's generation energy. That's sexualness, okay? Nowhere in there does it actually talk about putting the body parts together, okay? This is what we have called sexualness, okay? And yes, lusting has a degree of sexualness to it. Lust is that, hey baby, how you do? You look at your body. Mm-hmm. And I realized recently my body has a thing with smell. Like this guy I spent 4 days with, I can't tell you what he looks like, but I can tell you what he smells like because he smelled good. Just saying, he smelled really good. And I'm like, wow, I remember what my high school boyfriend smelled like. I remember what the guy I almost married smelled like. They're like, what do you look like? I don't know, but I can tell you what he smells like. And so, and for me, that triggers some of that lust of that energy of like, I call it also makes you want to growl, that, and so for me, that's the lust includes the sexualness, and it also has that little element of like, you want to play, just play, okay, play, So it does have another little layer to that. And you know what? I hope you guys are sitting down, because, I'm going to share something shocking. Your body likes to be played with, okay? And it doesn't always mean copulation. I have some of that lust energy during a massage. My body can get so turned on by a massage, and has nothing to do with putting body parts together, copulation, but just has to do with that generative sexualness, as well as that play energy of like, oh, let's play. Hands-on body processes can do the same, okay? And this ties into, how do we not align, agree, or resist, or react to a point of view, right? It takes practice. It really does. If somebody says, oh my gosh, you're just the most amazing thing, and you can be, oh, great, thank you, and receive it. And then it's like, okay, everywhere I'm aligning, agreeing, or solidifying that I'm great, or everywhere I'm putting like, okay, this is what great is, and if I'm not this tomorrow, then I'm not great, okay? So you create a solidification. You almost put a pin in it. It's like, okay, that's great, so I know how to judge myself by that. Okay, and then the other day somebody told me I was a mean, vicious woman. Okay, put a pin there. That mean, vicious woman over here is great, nice woman. Okay, so we'll see. Today I'm more near the pin of great woman. Oh, but yesterday I was more kind of near the pin of like mean, cruel, vicious woman. Okay, I get it. And so you really start looking. That's why it's like, you want to POD/POC everywhere you have align and agree, even if it's something positive, because when you do that, it's like, oh, this is where I was great. Do you get that? You're starting to create a solidification, a place to judge yourself, compare yourself, a plateau on which to try to balance on. Like, I'm great yesterday, I was great, but I'm not great today. No, you're just you. You are you every day, okay? And so this goes back into if somebody's pushing energy at you. Because I don't know about you, but ever notice that when somebody's hitting on you, there's a lot of pushed energy, kind of like that anger thing, right? Remember I talked about that anger thing? I did it for many reasons. So what if you were just willing to POD/POC all of the points of view, whether it's a push, I want to play with your body, a push, I want you to buy something like salespeople, or push energy of anger, POD/POC everywhere you're resisting or reacting or defining what the energy is. Because at the base core, they're pushing energy at you. Okay, so thanks for the fill up. Thanks for the caress of energy. Have a good day. Okay? And so it really just does start taking practice of not aligning and agreeing or resisting or reacting to what people are saying. And I still practice it every day. Trust me, it's not like I'm going to come back to you next week and go, are you over it yet? We all have different days. We all have different intensities. And it gets easier. Trust me, it does get easier. But do just practice it. Whether it's a positive comment or a negative comment, just POD/POC everywhere you are aligning, agreeing, and resisting, reacting to it, so you don't create these solidifications, these plateaus of which to judge yourself by later. Okay? All right. Gosh, we're going to take a quick little break. We haven't even touched my notes. And when we come back, this is why I love the 2.5-day workshops, is because we get to explore all of this really in depth, and it's really more interactive with people have questions. They're like, I had a story about this, and this is what happened. And we're like, okay, cool. So we POD/POC and we clear it. So it's awesome. Because, I used to be shy. I used to not want to be seen. I used to not want to talk in front of people. And now I don't shut up unless I have to go to a commercial break or somebody asks me a question. And so, lots of things change. It's not just about having sex. Being seen is also about being willing to create the life and the ability to be you. Because I wasn't being the full me if I wasn't willing to be seen, because I wasn't out talking. I wasn't out doing a radio show. I wasn't out facilitating. I wasn't smiling at the cashiers or engaging with them. How many lives have we all changed just by talking to a cashier? And as they're ringing us up, they're helping us. They're like, oh, how's your day? Da, 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 and have that interaction. You change lives. And until I was willing to be seen, not even like seen acceptably, but seen, everything changed, including other people's realities, which is part of what this is. It's not just about your reality, guys. It's about everybody's realities. Okay. All right. Quick little break. Very quick. When we come back, we're going to see if I can tie this up in a bow really quickly. I doubt it because there's always more to be said, but we're going to see what we can do. All right. This is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host and the voice inside your head, Donnielle. We were talking today about, does your body want to be seen? Yes. Yes, it does. Your body likes to be seen. Your body doesn't have a point of view about, oh my gosh, I'm a fat day today. I'm a thin day today. A bad hair day. A good hair day. Oh my gosh, well, my ass in these shoes. You should see this. No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't have a point of view, but it does enjoy the energetic caresses that somebody's seeing your body does. And we've talked a lot about not aligning or agreeing with how they're seeing your body. If they're going, oh my gosh, you look horrible, or the solidification of a quote unquote positive judgment. Okay, then we're also talking about lust, which has a kind of different energy of like, hey, want to play? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's play. And lust, I've actually discovered, is one of my body's favorite energetic sources. I travel the world a lot, and then when I'm home, and I'm usually in my apartment like nonstop. And I've noticed I'm not as having much fun at home as I do out in the world. And I'm like, what's the big difference between home and out in the world? Oh, I'm being seen by people. I'm interacting with people when I'm not sitting alone inside my apartment. And so I really began to discover how this lust is one of my body's favorite forms of nourishment, of energetic sources. And let me say straight out, if somebody's lusting after you, doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. As Gary Douglas says, promises everything and deliver nothing. Okay? So you have choice in everything. Just because somebody's lusting after your body doesn't mean you have to get with their body. You can just go, hey, thanks for the lust. Have a good day. And so all the projections, all the judgments of the rightness or wrongness of being lusted, or that if somebody is lusting after you, it's an unspoken agreement, something that you have to deliver or do to their body or let their body do to you, which would be from any lifetime, past or future dimensionality, destroyed and created, please. Cool. Whew. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, boys, and beyond, which is the Access Consciousness verbal processing. You can learn more about that at Donnielle.com if you'd like. All right, so your body desires to be seen. Your body doesn't actually care what it looks like. It enjoys the it enjoys the caress of the energy. So I encourage you guys, and I invite you to start looking at this throughout the next week. If somebody is looking at you with positive judgment, negative judgment, whatever it is, with judgment, POC everywhere, you've aligned and agreed, resisted and reacted to it, use the verbal processing, and see how your body changes with that. See if your body goes, see if your body can get an energetic flush from a quote-unquote negative judgment. Have fun with it. I'm telling you, sometimes somebody will look at me and complete what this reality called negative judgment, and I'm like, woo! Oh, thanks for that. That made parts of my body tingle because I didn't have a judgment of aligning and agreeing with it. I just enjoyed the caress of the energy of it. My body enjoys it. But if your body doesn't enjoy it, physical, why would it be something that could be seen if it didn't enjoy being seen? And watch your reality change, watch your universe change, and watch the universe change around those with you. Because in addition to you not aligning and agreeing with the judgments, then they don't have to align and agree with the judgments, even if they're the ones giving the judgments. You not aligning and agreeing allows them to change it in their reality as well. Okay? All right, so moral of the story, go out and be seen. POC everywhere. You're aligning and agreeing with what your body has to look like, should look like, supposed to look like. And POC everywhere, you have an alignment agreement to anybody who's judging you positive or negative. Kind of see how that differs and how, when you don't have a point of view, how your body actually feels when somebody looks at you. Because I tell you what, if you guys haven't been to a class with Gary Douglas, oh my gosh, let him look at you. It is such a caress. I mean, every time he'll look you up head to tail, or head to toes, and I'm just like, I've actually gone, oh, thank you. He's like, you're welcome. I'm like, that worked. And it felt so nice. And it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Gary wants to sleep with me. No, it was just an acknowledgement of my body and the energy. And I'm like, hey, thanks for the caress. Trust me. It's fun. All right. So, and just practice it. Be with it. Be present with it. And if you want to, you can practice it with us this weekend. You can come to class and be seen. Just a reminder, we are starting the Edmonton Body Celebration this weekend. Right Body for You 2.5-day workshop, followed by the 1-day facilitator training. Oh my gosh, we didn't even get into that. If you want to become a facilitator of Right Body for You, this is where it starts as well. So the 2.5-day Right Body for You workshop, live in Edmonton or live on the internet. You can live stream that one. We're doing Access Energetic Facelift 1-day class, and then the Access Consciousness 3-day body class. Now, you can take one of these classes or all of these classes. It's not like one or nothing, or one or all or nothing. There we go. It's not all or nothing. You can choose one of them, but I do encourage you to choose all of them. We're having fun, and we're kind of seeing how the energetic flow goes from one class to the other, because it is the first time we're ever doing it this way in Access history. So I'm excited about the history we're creating and the future possibilities we're creating for our bodies, for your body, for our bodies, for Right Body for You, for Access Consciousness, everything. Okay. You go to Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com, and find out more about that. DONNIELLE.com, and find out more about that. Okay. And so you guys make it a fun week, a happy week. Go out, be seen. POC the judgment, POC your judgment. Be seen, have fun, enjoy the energetic caress of somebody looking at your body, okay? So make it a good week, a fun week. Be back next week. Hope to hug some of you in Edmonton this weekend. And until then, have fun, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you and your body will join us. Until then, have fun.